Hey guys, it's your boy, Baldface8020, back again with another great commentary. Oh, we're definitely not going to get the hair straightened out today. Um, First, a toast, a delicious glass of, not glass because I would never drink soda out of a glass, delicious bottle of cherry Coke, real cherry Coke, not that NutraSweet Diet Cherry Coke or Coke Cherry Coke Zero, whatever. Real cherry Coke only. So I know you guys have never seen me drink a soda before, but I'm trying to get off my meds, and I've just made it 49 hours, so I'm coping or coking, if you will, and by drinking caffeine, does help. Although I'm really not a big caffeine guy in general. Mm. Again, the handshaking is just a neurological tremor. Um, so I was thinking about this today. Um, some people who I come in contact online, a lot of people really do are guys who really do want a relationship. And I'm not saying that, what I talk about in this video is going to help you get a relationship. It may or it may not. But I'm just thinking about guys in general, because I think the overwhelming majority of guys, I would say 95% minimum, want a romantic relationship with a woman. Now, they might not want to be faithful to her, but they want to have that relationship. So I'm just saying though that if you do want a long term relationship, like especially one that's ideally lifetime length, but even if it's not necessarily something you want for a lifetime, just a long term thing, I would say that you know um, fidelity is a big part of it. I know that I'm not really the relationship expert because, as you know, the longest relationship I've ever been in was for 2 weeks. Um, but sometimes I think being on the outside can give you a more of a perspective. And actually, the reason I was thinking about this is because I was reading some FDS, and FDS just complains about everything. That's what they do. The one thing that they were talking about was guys who had a wandering eye and shit like that, and which I guess could be annoying, but whatever. That's just kind of how men are. Um, but I think that one problem is that it seemed like fidelity is something you do for the other partner, and I don't think that's a healthy way to look at it. I think it's something you do for the relationship and for yourself. And so like there's a big debate, online about like whether looking at porn counts as cheating. And I mean, my answer would be no, it doesn't. I would say that you have to actually, cheating is a physical thing. I mean, at most, there'd have to be like some kind of emotional affair, but even that I wouldn't count as cheating. Um, the I don't know. It depends. The I guess like I said, it depends on how you define the term. I think it gets be kind of a semantical debate, so it's probably not worth stressing about too much. Obviously, the only reason I ever really thought about it is because FDS makes such a huge deal about it, about like saying like one thing, the guy can't look at porn, it's like, because it's like it's anti-woman or something. I don't, and again, I don't know if, I guess I mean, I don't want to get too waylaid here, but I don't really see anything inherently anti-woman about porn. The Like, I guess certain types could be anti-woman, but I don't know if, I mean, they say like, well, it's objectifying women. It's like, well, okay. So I mean, so is women looking at attractive men objectifying men? Like, I don't like. I don't know. I think they're. I mean, I don't know. I mean, one thing that I remember hearing, um, a reading. This was way back in the day. Like, before the pills even existed, and on the old school anti-feminist websites. And it was a guy who said, one thing is for absolutely certain is that men could never objectify women nearly as much as women objectify women. And I think there's at least some truth to that. But anyway, getting off topic. So, um, I would say that if you're in a relationship, no, don't look at porn. Just like you don't cheat, because I know that there's a debate, like a lot, especially a lot of women today who came up in a different generation, saying, "Look, I don't really care if he looks at porn or not," and or like it doesn't have to be porn; it can be like Instagram models and stuff. But I would say that even if you're not in a relationship, if a relationship is something you want, I would say no, don't look at porn, don't look at Instagram models, and I would actually just say don't look at women. Period. I would say that like if a relationship is something that you think you want, just be something that like you don't look at any woman in a sexual way. Like I mean, like there might be like some women who you see like you maybe you register, see her, she's attractive, but it's like what I've said in previous videos, like thoughts are going to come and go. Nothing you can do about that. But what you can do is cultivate it or non-cultivate it. So there's always that like meme of jokes of like of commercials or TV shows, whatever, is like some husband is like gawking at some attractive woman or something, and then the wife is like slapping him or like stopping. It's like that attractive boyfriend meme or that attractive girl meme, the distracted boyfriend meme, stuff like that. And it's supposed to be like it's not a very funny joke or meme, but it's been around forever. That the guy maybe he would never actually cheat, maybe he would never actually maybe the guy doesn't look at porn, but he will look at other women. And I would say it's really it's really the same thing. Now, I mean, you can't help, like I said, you can't help if you notice her and she's attractive, but when you actually make the choice to stare and gawk at it, you're cultivating that. Instead, just be like, see it, go like, up, no, I'm only with one, and forget about it. And yeah, like I said, don't look at any woman that way unless you're already in a relationship with her. So then, I mean, the only question then is like, well, then how would you get a relationship in the first place if you never look at women that way? It's like, well, I think when you actually start talking and dating, then you can do it. But like, as long as you're limiting yourself to one at a time, and then when you've made the commitment, you don't think that way about anybody else. Mike Pence got made fun of a lot for never being alone in a room with a woman, and or never drinking when his wife isn't there. Um, Now I'm going to give you drinking when his wife isn't there. That's pretty weird. But never being in a room alone with a woman. I mean, I think that's kind of weird too. But if, everybody has to do like what works for them, and if it works to keep his marriage strong, then yeah, by all means do it. So, but yeah, so I think most of my viewers though are guys who do want to be in a relationship, and I would say that even if it ends up being something that you can't get, even if you're never gonna be like you really are so autistic that you're gonna be an incel for life, then again like what I said about cultivating that stuff could actually be making your suffering worse, because it's just distraction. But the thing is, but if like a long-term relationship is something that you want, and it might not be, it's not what I want, there are some guys who are the exceptions, but most guys do want it, then I would say that would actually be my first point of advice, is to, even if you're not in a relationship yet, don't look at porn, don't look at Instagram models, and don't look at women in any type of sexualized fashion. um the um And I mean, I know. Like I said, again, there's instinct and stuff will happen, but for the 10 millionth time, you don't have to cultivate it. It's just practice being like, oh, okay, stop. Virtue, sense restraint. Sense restraint. It's like it's part of what being a human being is is the ability to engage in sense restraint, because no other animals have that ability, not even chimps. And so yeah, I guess that's not a super interesting. The last thing though I would want to say, and I did touch on this earlier in the video, is well, what about I think there's a lot of guys who, like I said, I think 95% of guys want a relationship. And what percentage of those guys want to be faithful? I really don't know. I think it depends on the culture. Um, but I think a lot of guys would say that, look, I want a relationship, but not at the price of I can't ever look at other women. That's just not something I'm willing to do. Okay, look, dude, that's fine if that's what you want. I'm just saying, if you like to give yourself the best odds of a strong long term relationship, and because I think that every time, if you are in a relationship, or again, even if you just want to be in a relationship, every time you look at a woman who's not your wife in any type of sexualized fashion, I mean, and like I said, and you cultivate it, and go after that, and even if you know you would never act on it, you are hurting yourself and hurting the relationship. That's what I think. I mean, it might not be hurting her; she might be cool with it, but it's not good for you, and it's not good for the relationship. That's the only reason. So it's not some kind of moral thing. That's all for now, and I'll see you in the next.